The trucking industry is changing fast in 2025, and for many owner-operators, it's getting harder than ever to survive. Freight rates are in an all-time low, fuel prices are unpredictable, and mega carriers are tightening their grip on the industry. So the big question is it still worth it to be an owner-operator in 2025, or is it time to throw in the towel? Today we're breaking down exactly what's happening in the trucking industry, why small businesses are struggling, and how you can still stay profitable even in this tough market. Let's start with the numbers. Freight rates in 2025 have remained painfully low. The national average per mile has dropped below break-even levels for many truckers. Fuel prices are still fluctuating like crazy depending on what state you're in, and the insurance costs are higher than ever, especially if you're an owner-operator. And if that wasn't enough, some brokers are taking bigger cuts while loads are paying less and less. That means owner-operators are driving more miles but making less money. Does that sound familiar? The game is rigged. Mega carriers and huge freight companies want to dominate the industry, and they're making it almost impossible for small trucking businesses to survive. Here's what's happening. Big companies are undercutting rates, so small carriers can't compete. Brokers are favoring large fleets over independent truckers. Government regulations are piling up, making it more expensive for small businesses to operate. The truth is, the industry is being built to benefit the big guys, and they'd rather see owner-operators quit than compete. Same goes for smaller carriers. The mega carriers would actually love for us to go out of the business so they can rule the markets and they can determine the prices. And of course, those prices are going to be working in their favors because they need less money to operate. They work on volume. And of course, the mega carriers would love smaller carriers to see out of the business because they work on a volume-based business, kind of like Walmart's. Now, imagine if a Walmart had hundreds or thousands of other small stores around the city or around the country that are competing with them. They would love to take their business, and the way to do that is to make their prices cheaper and to offer more varieties. That's how they get you. And the mega carriers are doing the same thing to us. But here's the good news. Some owner-operators are still making good money. The difference, they're running their business smarter. Here are the three things right now that you can do as an owner-operator to stay profitable. If you're going to a bad area, make sure you are pre-planning your trip or even your whole week with your dispatcher. You know that going to a bad area will mean that you're going to have to find something from there, and what you want to do is that this is going to be a load that's as short as possible because it will be cheap. So you better make sure that you're going to that area with good money. You make sure you mention that to your dispatcher. If your dispatcher constantly gives you and offers you cheap loads, then there is something wrong. A good dispatcher will only offer you a cheap load only if they have to get you out of a certain area, or if you're at home in a bad area, then you might be getting out for something that's not paying well. But after that, you should be offered only decent loads. Of course, we as dispatchers, we cannot offer you loads that don't exist. If the markets are bad, we always do what we can to make sure you get the higher than the average rate. We don't want to settle on the average rate. The average rates right now are $2 and more depending on the equipment, but we always want to do more than that. The next thing that you can do is you have to cut your expenses smartly. One of the biggest money wasters in trucking industry is the unnecessary costs. The first thing that comes to mind is the fuel. You always want to try to save money on fuel. You want to have a fuel card that will give you discounts. Here we have a fuel card that can give you $100 to $200 or more a week in fuel discounts, and that's $5,000 to $10,000 annually just for the fuel. The next thing is tolls. If you don't have Pre-Pass or Easy Pass or iPass, I recommend to you that you get one or try to get it through the company. That will save you some money, but the best thing would be is try to plan routes where there are no expensive tolls or where you can bypass them. Another big money saver is the maintenance. If you do your pre-trip inspections and post-trip inspections regularly and the way you're supposed to do it, you will notice things that can be fixed in advance. When you're at home, go through your truck. Don't just slam your door and go back home the minute you arrive. You have to check your truck. Open up the hood, walk around everything, look underneath, listen for noises, make sure that there are no check engine lights on your dashboard. The prevention is the biggest money saver in the maintenance, and sometimes by just locating and fixing a small thing, it can save you thousands of dollars in the long run. And then also there are a lot of things that you can do yourself. Invest in a toolbox and in some basic tools. There are a lot of YouTube videos for some simple things. Ask your friends, ask your mechanic, just try to fix it yourself. You will be saving a lot of money that way. Another thing that you can do, if you're leasing your truck, you can lease your truck to a reputable, right company that will not have any hidden fees, that will not charge you extra for things that you're not supposed to be charged. Now, how do you do that? Well, in a trucking company, if they're leasing to with owner-operators, then you can ask them for every deduction that they're gonna have, and maybe even ask for a proof if you don't trust them. But what it should be the insurance, the cargo and liability. If you have physical insurance through them, unless you have your own, there should be a fuel deduction for the fuel that you're using for that week, if you're using their fuel cards, and there should be their commission, whatever that is. If you're renting a trailer, maybe that's going to be it, but that should be around it. Some companies will have also occupational insurance that might be extra, but anything extra is a red flag. A lot of trucking companies will have administration fees, application fees, like if you're using their application, trucking management fees, a lot of different things, right? And that adds up for the company, and then it will work against you. And for the end, here's a message for you. If you're struggling to find good paying loads and you're an owner operator and you're tired of dealing with low freight rates and watching big companies take over, it's time to make a change. We are looking for serious owner operators who want better freight, higher pay, and a reliable partner in this industry. There is more information in the description of this video. My phone number is there. Let me know if you are willing to talk. Also visit our website. There is all the information that you need to know, but we want to let you know we are in this with you. I had been driving for a long time. I've had this company for a long time as well. Let's work together and try to make some money, and hopefully we will all stop struggling by the end of this year. This is Anis from Never Stop Trucking and Usura Express. I'll see you later.